don't know what to be honest with you, I forget my true point. I think I said I don't know because I still don't know.
Mhm.
And it's more because I do believe that if you're going to have two nights, at least have the women main event a night just because they've shown they're capable of it.
Right.
And but the bloodline is so good. There is no other story in wrestling history that compares to the bloodline.
Well, and it's funny, I had someone say to me that they think that the women have to main event night 1 and that the bloodline matches should all be on night 2. And because then it's like the emphasis of the bloodline, which to an extent I get it, but I liked my argument, which was if the Usos defend their tag titles Saturday night and they lose, that starts the unraveling of the bloodline going into night 2, which then becomes a huge focus anyway, because then Roman is like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to win because the Usos just lost. We're already losing like our power in WWE. Like there's more pressure on me to win. Like that becomes this whole other factor into
Yeah.
his match in the entire night. So
And
to
could
me,
you yeah.
that's more exciting to me because then you have it coming on from the night before rather than him just like suddenly getting that feeling in the middle of the show and then he has an hour to have to like sit in that. It's like, no, I would prefer that it was like 24 hours that he had to sit
And
in
could
that.
you imagine them walking out to, because you know that the entire bloodline is going to be at Roman's ringside in his corner, and then somehow Sami Zayn and KO will find their way
unless
in
they
Cody's
unless they
corner.
ban them.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I was gonna say was that could you imagine them walking out without the titles?
It's gonna be weird.
Like,
Their
could you
first entrances
imagine
without it.
the emphasis on the state of the bloodline would be?
I know.
Incredible, and
Imagine the end of Mania, the ending shot. Other
it's them
like Cody
all
just
laid
like,
out.
well, yeah, Cody on the turnbuckle, like crying, Roman just laying there or like sitting there disappointed with Heyman just being like, you know, it's gonna be crazy. But I'm not against. I like obviously for the women to have a chance to main event, and of course, like I'm not gonna be mad if they do that. I just feel like from a story standpoint, I think it really just depends on how everything is going leading up to Mania. And right now it feels like the bloodline is the hottest thing.
It is the best
So
thing in
I
wrestling.
don't think that people should be taking that as a slight towards the women or towards Charlotte or Rhea. Like if it ended up being that they didn't main event, and that's what people are coming to like already. They're already trying to push that it would
And
be disrespectful. And it's like to an extent, I get it. But as you said, they're not really pushing that you main event Mania if you win Rumble. I mean, basically, if you're the man, you do, which is unfortunate that it's not the same for the women.
but
But
no, not I think now it's gonna be 2 nights, yes, okay. But
yeah, so
no,
that's what I mean. But it's like I think that I mean, there's probably it seems unlikely that they would ever book a men's championship match from Rumble to Mania that wouldn't main event or that people wouldn't want to see as the main event. I find it hard to believe that
CM
there's.
Punk CM Punk Jericho
I
was the
mean, there's
champion.
some that wouldn't, but I'm saying it's like it's Triple H booking it now. I think things are going to be a little bit different, and I think
He's gonna
it's
give the women the main event more,
a
which
hundred
they deserve
percent,
it, and then the main guy, it's the bloodline and it's just circumstance.
and it might
You
be
play
just
Tom Brady in Super Bowl.
they could
It's one of those things.
And they could even call it like co-main events. They could probably
Yeah.
have the Usos go first and then the women, Rhea and Charlotte, end it. And then it's like, okay, like they're both towards the end of the show. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
It's
I
so
don't
much
think there's
better,
really a
yeah.
wrong answer necessarily or
No.
wrong choice. But yeah, I think that Charlotte and Rhea definitely made me a whole lot more interested in their
Oh, yeah.
match because before last night I did not care.